Donald Trump is panicking as the Meidas touch clips that exposed his dark past are surfacing, and people are easily putting the puzzle pieces together to show Donald Trump's connections with Epstein, Donald Trump's engaging in behavior that we know the Department of Justice seems to be redacting from the Epstein files. Let me just break down what's going down. I think one of the underrated moments of the Pam Bondi hearing that deserves much more attention is when Democratic Congressmember Dan Goldman was cross-examining Attorney General Pam Bondi, and he held up a document which was an email between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, where they redacted communications that Epstein was forwarding to Maxwell that involved Donald Trump or Trump's attorneys communicating with Epstein or Epstein's attorneys. And it was believed to be about discussions regarding their relationship, and the fact that here's what I think's underneath there, that Epstein was actually never a member of Mar-a-Lago to begin with. He was always just a good friend of Donald Trump, and that he was a guest who would be invited there, so he couldn't be banned from a place where he wasn't a guest. And I think it totally contradicts what Donald Trump's been saying. Oh, I banned Epstein. So it's a devastating document for Donald Trump. There's no reason why this document should be redacted. The Trump DOJ claims that there's privilege regarding this document, so they're withholding it on the basis of either attorney-client privilege or something called deliberative process privilege. But why in the world would an email from Epstein to Ghislaine be attorney-client privilege or deliberative process privilege? So first, let me show you, again, remind you of this cross-examination of Pam Bondi by Goldman, but then I want to pull out these receipts of the Meidas touch videos, which people are now looking back at and say, oh, got it. It's been in our plain sight the whole time. Beneath these redactions are just confirmation of the Meidas touch clips that for the past 4 to 5 years, the Meidas Touch Network has been digging up, and we've been posting. Like, remember, we posted the photos of that 1991 beauty pageant that Donald Trump had with the young 14, 15-year-old girls who were walking around him in their bathing suits, and then they party on the yacht together. Remember, we posted the video of Uncle Luke from the rap band 2 Live crew from the early 90s. During that period, he talks about going to Mar-a-Lago with Mike Tyson and I think Eddie Murphy, and they were there at Mar-a-Lago, and Uncle Luke says he sees girls who are very young, they look underage. He fears that he's going to be extorted, and so Uncle Luke says that he's got to leave. Remember the clips that we've been posting of Michael Wolff. He did interviews here. He did interviews on other podcasts as well, where he talks about he saw from Epstein photographs of Donald Trump with stains on his pants and naked girls who looked very young or indeterminate age. And Epstein showed Wolff the photographs, and Epstein said he kept it in a lockbox in his home, and it was believed, and we were reporting, and Wolff came on the show to talk about, and he went on other shows as well, that these documents were likely taken by the FBI and they're perhaps in the files. I said that's probably something that is being redacted and hidden right now as well. And then there's the video, of course, of Donald Trump saying that young girls are like alcohol to him, that he's like, he doesn't drink, but young girls give him the same feeling, like a raging alcoholic. And this was in a event that he was holding where he called a young lady up from the audience, and then he said, "You want to be on my plane? I like young girls on my plane," or words to that effect. You go listen to what he says. And I think he talks about like a 17-year-old girl on his plane, and how when the girl was on the plane, it's like alcohol. He's like addicted to that, he says. So and then we got to go over some other videos of Donald Trump and a tennis star who was 17 years old who quit playing tennis for a little bit, and she was apparently taken to Mar-a-Lago, and this was reported at the time. So Meidas Touch we've been reporting on all this stuff now, and it's interesting. I was going to say it's funny, but that's not there. It's interesting that people are now pulling up all the Meidas Touch clips that we've been dropping for the past 4 to 5 years. So let me just go through this with you, because this is the Meidas Touch Network. We come bearing receipts. So let's go one by one, shall we? So first, the redactions from the Epstein files that we know that were in the unredacted portion that the members of Congress are being spied on by Trump's DOJ. But Democratic Congressmember Dan Goldman holds up the email between Epstein and Ghislaine. Listen for yourself, watch for yourself. Here, play this clip.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Bondi, I went over to the department yesterday for a couple of hours to review some of the unredacted materials. And I am looking forward to your detailed explanation for why you have withheld almost half of the documents, which is required by the bill. Now, obviously, there are 3 million documents, so I didn't get through much. But one thing I didn't see was the client list that you said you had on your desk a year ago. I did, however, find a couple of important documents. An 86-page prosecution memo from the Southern District of New York, and a draft indictment from Florida against Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirators. For reasons that I cannot understand nor are permitted by the bill, they were still redacted, even for members of Congress. So, Ms. Bondi, will you commit right here to immediately providing those 2 documents in unredacted form to members of Congress? Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged.
Okay. They're not privileged, but we will discuss that later.
So then we pull out this article right here. Tennis prodigy, ball in parents' court. And this article starts to talk about how, at 17 years old, Monica Seles withdrew from playing in Wimbledon because of an alleged injury, and she started staying at Mar-a-Lago, and people are like, what the hell is going on? And then she appeared in commercials right around this time period when she was underage or when she was, 17 years old, and she was staying at Mar-a-Lago. It was widely reported she's living at Trump's place in Mar-a-Lago, at this time period. And there was questions, was she dating Trump? Like, what the hell was going on? So let me just play for you first the story, how in 1991, tennis champion Monica Seles withdrew from playing at Wimbledon because of an alleged injury, and she was invited to Mar-a-Lago. Play this clip.
Yet another woman in Donald Trump's life, tennis star Monica Seles, the top-ranking female player in the world, stunned everybody when she suddenly dropped out of Wimbledon. Now she turned up at the Trump mansion in Florida. Rosanna Scotto reports.
I know a dark, secret place where no one knows your face. A glass of wine, a fast embrace. It's called Hernando's Hideaway. Ole.
Forget about Hernando's Hideaway. Mar-a-Lago has turned into Donald Trump's hideaway for tennis fugitive Monica Seles. Seles mysteriously disappeared after abruptly dropping out of the Wimbledon Championships 10 days ago, only to strangely resurface at Trump's palatial Florida estate. The mega developer reportedly invited the 17-year-old Yugoslav to stay at his home so she could avoid reporters trying to find out why she skipped the tournament. But why would Trump want to get involved in this? Could this eligible bachelor have met his match? The editor of Tennis Magazine could only guess.
Athletes attract all kinds of people. We have a term for them called jock sniffers, which the term, people who feel somewhat bigger by hanging around with athletes or celebrities, and I think it doesn't matter what social status you're from.
Trump has been known to be a big tennis fan. In fact, he found himself in some trouble last year when he was squiring Argentine tennis star Gabriela Sabatini around his casino in Atlantic City. She was 19 years old, underage according to Jersey law. Trump was served with a fine. While Mr. Trump would not comment on this latest tennis friendship, a published report says the Donald is really not interested in Monica romantically. In fact, her parents are staying with her at Mar-a-Lago.
She's kind of a melodramatic kid. She's always said she wants to be an actress, and she's